Good afternoon and welcome to True Crime Mysteries. If this is your first time to the channel, hello and welcome. Today we will be covering the traumatic abduction of Kamiyah Mobley. Kamiyah was discovered alive and well 18 years after she had been taken, with a new name, a new family, and no idea she was at the top of the FBI's missing children's list. Let's get into it. In 1998, Jacksonville, Florida, Kamiyah Mobley went into labor. She was 16 years old and living at her uncle's house. She had a rough start to life. She skipped school, ran away, hung around with a rough crowd. This was her second pregnancy. She had already suffered a miscarriage at 14. But this pregnancy was different. She wanted to be a good mom. She had baby clothes, a bassinet, and already had a name picked out. Her uncle drove her to the hospital, and the baby's father, Craig Aiken, was in jail on a drug charge. Her uncle left her when she was getting an epidural, and on July 10th, Kamiyah gave birth to a healthy baby girl. She named her Kamiyah Teresia Tasha Mobley. While she was holding her newborn, only hours old, she noticed a nurse hanging around the ward. The nurse told her she had been assigned to care for her and the baby. They spent several hours together talking, and the nurse had even helped her get changed into a clean gown. Kamiyah was at ease with the nurse, trusting her, and she felt no apprehension when the nurse said she needed to take the baby to get checked for fever before they could leave. Kamiyah desperately wanted to get her to the hospital, so she let her take the baby out of the room. The nurse never came back. The nurse hadn't been a nurse at all. The abductor had been wearing scrubs, glasses, and a wig. No one had noticed the nurse who wasn't supposed to be there, that no one had seen before. The nurse who was hanging around the newborn babies. The nurse who walked out of the hospital and packed a baby into a newborn car seat, already set up in her vehicle. During the investigation, the police had little to go on. Kamiyah had only been 8 hours old with no photographs or security footage. All they had was her weight and height at birth and some distinctive features such as Mongolian spots and an umbilical hernia. The police followed over 2,000 leads. They searched for baby Kamiyah as far as Nova Scotia. Their prime suspects, however, were the Mobley and Aiken families. Kamiyah said that people in her personal life as well as online blamed her for losing her child. She had heard people thought she had given the baby away or wanted attention. She self-medicated and tried to harm herself. She had to have people monitor her 24/7 for months. Days of torment turned into months and then years. Mobley had won a settlement with the hospital for $1.2 million for lax oversight and security. Mobley went on to have 5 more children, but every year for 18 years, she bought a cake for baby Kamiyah and saved her a piece. Meanwhile, sometime in 2015 in South Carolina, a teenager named Alexis Manigault went to get her driver's license and discovered her birth certificate was invalid. It was then that the only mother she ever knew, Gloria Williams, told her daughter the truth. Her life was turned upside down and she was torn between 2 identities. She loved her family. She'd had a wonderful childhood filled with dance classes, cheerleading, 2 older brothers, a warm family surrounded by the church and filled with love. Now she had a new family, one she had never met before. With the help of the internet, she knew she had half-siblings and a mother who was still trying to find her. Alexis called her biological mother once but hung up. Now her life was stuck in limbo. Her identity wasn't real, and she couldn't live the rest of her life as Alexis. She needed a social security number to get a job and go to college. But if she wanted to become Kamiyah, her family would be torn apart, and the woman who she considered to be her mother would go to jail. At one point, she had even told Gloria to run to avoid jail. Alexis had confided in a friend, who in turn sent a tip to the National Center of Missing and Exploited Children in 2016. A DNA test confirmed what Alexis already knew, and Gloria Williams was arrested and extradited to Florida in 2017. Gloria Williams pleaded guilty to kidnapping Kamiyah Mobley in 1998. During her trial, she detailed what led her to the Jacksonville hospital. She said that in '97 she had been in an abusive relationship with a man named Charles Manigault. Charles had wanted a baby, and he had told her that a baby would calm him, and she got pregnant. She already had 2 children from her first marriage, but she had lost custody due to the violent relationship. In her first trimester, she had begun bleeding. When she had gone to the doctor, she didn't have health insurance, so she couldn't be seen, but the doctor said that bleeding was normal. She later miscarried, but her body still experienced pregnancy symptoms. This is medically known as pseudocyesis, where the body seemed to be progressing even when there was no baby. Williams said that in the trial she believed the abuses caused the miscarriage, and she said that she was lost. She was extremely depressed, and she had lost everything. She said that she just got in her car and drove. She wasn't planning on abducting a baby, but she ended up at a Jacksonville hospital. She said she was looking at the newly born babies, thinking about the babies she had lost. She worked at a nursing home, so she had already been in scrubs. It was then she saw Shannara and her beautiful baby girl. She heard herself tell Shannara she was a nurse. She described feeling like she was on autopilot. Kamiyah Mobley had expressed to Williams she had concerns about being able to provide for the baby or being a bad mother, and Williams felt she was so young. Mobley didn't need this baby. Williams felt it was right to take baby Kamiyah. She admitted it wasn't logical, but she said it felt right. Took the baby and renamed her Alexis Kelly Manigault. She brought her to South Carolina, and holding that baby in her arms, she felt strong enough to leave her abusive relationship. Alexis deserved better. She remarried, got custody of her boys back, and raised Alexis as her own for 18 years, never telling a soul where this baby had come from. All the while knowing that there was a woman back in Florida who missed her child. During the court proceedings, the judge heard from both sides of Kamiyah's family express heartbreak. Kamiyah's family hurt for the lost childhood they would never get back, and Alexis's family, who felt cheated and betrayed by Williams for loving a child that had been brought into their lives as a lie, only to be taken away. When the judge delivered her sentence, she said that there were no winners or losers, but it was illegal to kidnap children, and Gloria Williams needed to be punished to the full extent of the law. The judge sentenced her to 18 years in prison despite Kamiyah's pleas for leniency. Kamiyah/Alexis is now 20 years old. She mostly goes by Alexis, but she says she answers to both names. She got her social security number and birth certificate, and she keeps in frequent contact with Gloria Williams. She still considers her to be her mother. She said that she feels stuck in the middle of the two families. She's quoted as saying, "I'm always trapped. Everyone wants this, someone wants that, and then you do this for that one, and then that one is upset." It's a constant cycle. Her biological mother has gone on to several publications to say that she doesn't have a close relationship with her biological daughter. At one point, she admitted to asking Kamiyah to choose the abductor or me. It doesn't seem that Kamiyah is willing to give up on any part of her family who raised her, and is adding in the new family to her life. She seems to be close with her biological father and stepmother, also calling her mom. She has many more siblings, which in an interview she seemed very excited about. At this point, Kamiyah is just trying to move on with her life and go to college, get a job, and become an adult out of the spotlight. With good behavior, I think the likelihood of Gloria getting out of jail early is very high. At most, Gloria will be in prison until she is 69 years of age, and Kamiyah would be around 36 when she was out. Well, that's it for this case. I think the judge is right. There is no winner or loser, but I also think you can't ask an 18-year-old to abandon a family she loves. Let me know what you think about this story in the comment section below. If you like the content and want to support the channel, click the like button, and if you want to get more content like this, hit the subscribe and the notification button so you don't miss out. Thank you for getting this far. I appreciate your support greatly, and I will see you soon. Stay safe.